Alright, welcome back to Heavenly Delusion, Season 1, Episode 2. As usual, this is going to be a timer-based reaction on YouTube, picture-in-picture version in the description below. And without any further ado, I'm going to start the countdown, and let us watch the episode. Finally getting an opening. Whoa, I see those eyes. Whoa! I love the erratic energy of this opening. That's cool. Nice. The lights of technology. Whoa! Interesting. The desynchronization between her and her outlines. Kind of like showing two different persons basically at that point. Where be my subtitles? God damn it. Okay, I'm gonna start again. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. Alright, I'm gonna start again. Sorry about that. Alright, I'm gonna start from the very beginning. It'll give me a good opportunity to rewatch the opening again. The beginning with the power lines and one of the lines being severed kind of gives the idea of miscommunication or communication loss. There's the eye again. Once again, like I said, I do love the erratic feeling of this opening. The energy of it. The song is pretty good as well. This I like though. The technological light morphing into nature. But this part though. Right. And her holding her hair, smelling it, right? Self-love? Something like that. Nice. I love this angle. As if they are being watched. Whoa. Yeah. That doesn't look good. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Is it the same message that... Wait, what is that? Oh. And then we cut to her. The monster's outside. There's a lot to talk about um, inside of that institution. I love the little detail of the shadow effect. Like as the light gets closer to it. Oh. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Changing up the aspect ratios. That was great. That was greater use of the aspect ratio to make it feel more claustrophobic between them. Even though they are in the open. Adds more to the suffocating feeling to it. That is a sick design though. Whoa! Alright, pretty cool. Hmm. Oh. Oh, some of these camera movements. Alright, we got some moonlight. Right, distract them. Great use of a low angle shot. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't. It doesn't seem to be hurting her. Yeah, you're lucky. Communication, communication. Never mind. Never, never mind. Well, miscommunication. Shit. Hmm. Interesting, interesting. I am loving their dynamic though. Alright, there's the range. Great use of a wide shot again. Using the aspect ratio now to showcase the distance between the two. Ooh. Oh, okay, 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 okay. That's his powers. Crushes his heart. Direction has been pretty good. Like, really good. Hmm. Yeah, possibly. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, that's great use of a CG building. All right, all right. I can get behind the adventurous aspect of the show. Like so far, just these two adventuring, you know, the wasteland or the world has been a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm loving these two already. Meanwhile, in Tomato Heaven, door. Whose door is it? Okay. I love this angle. The warped perspective of it. I just noticed that everybody is wearing the same uniform. As in, there is no difference between, a boy and a girl's uniform. Like the girls aren't wearing a skirt. Yeah, it's fine. These are super talented people. Or superhumans. Hmm. The show is giving me a bit of Kino's Journey vibes. As in, characters going into different places. Hmm. Hmm. One-chan. His sister? Actual sister? Same thing as the kid. Hmm. Interesting shot. The big fault. Man, this world is so interesting. Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. The important thing is that you guys are alive. Kusakabe. Hmm. Momoko is pregnant? Ah. But, yeah. Hmm. Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, the direction in this series has been blowing me away so far. The look-alike. Hmm. Speaking of, her expression though. Yeah. It could be though, with how she reacted. Hmm. Right, right. Okay, okay. Hmm. I almost don't want them to get to heaven because their journey towards heaven has been really, really good so far. Uh, I mean, obviously they're gonna get to heaven probably at the end of the series, but I'm just talking about like the full nature of the show. If it is just about them adventuring to, he's he her facial expressions. Yeah, she hasn't said anything, bro. But you know, kids, teenagers, young adults, especially people who have not experienced any sort of sexual um, education and such. Okay, okay, okay. All right, I could get behind that. Whoa, that was weird, but I love it though. Having oh, I love this upbeat ending though. I do love me a good story about people finding their own sexual identity, especially in this type of environment. Whoa! Yeah, that's fully hand drawn. I just noticed that the kids in that this institution, place, or whatever it is, I think there is a distinction between boy and girl, and that is like the color of one of them is red here, and then the other one is white. Hey man, great episode. Okay. wow, that was quite an episode. First and foremost, the direction and the production values of this show continues to surprise me. I talked about it in the first episode, right, of how just beautifully crafted this show is, right? It kind of goes to show that the team behind it really appreciate the source material. They respect it, and they are probably giving it like the adaptation that it is, deserving. I don't know how manga readers are feeling at the moment, but if this is a faithful adaptation, then if I were a manga reader, then I would probably be very happy, because so far it's been really impressive, to say the least. Like Production IG, I haven't actually watched a show from Production IG in quite a while, but seeing that they are still able to craft something of this caliber, of this quality, especially in this day and age where it seems that a lot of studios lately have been kind of falling behind, and missing schedules, and production definitely taking a hit, and having to cut a few corners here and there. I think I talked about this in the first episode discussion as well, actually. But like I'm just praising like the show and the staff overall so far. Like it's been a fantastic journey. We're only 2 episodes in, but if they are able to maintain this level of quality, right? That was the concern when I went into the first episode, and that is, okay, this first episode is really good. Can they keep up with this quality? So far, we have reached episode 2, and I feel like they kind of upped themselves from episode 1. I feel like episode 2, production-wise, is probably better than episode 1 in my eyes. Like, they're both great, consistently solid all throughout, and just overall fantastic. Like the animation, the direction, cinematography, once again, like the storyboarding and all, just beautifully done. Like you can for me, I can definitely feel that, I am definitely feeling immersed into this world. And that is like one thing that I do love about this story, about this show so far, and that is the world in which these characters are inhabiting, right? You have this really overgrown outside world filled with dangers and monsters, right? And then you have the more clean institution sort of, facility where everything is way too clean, way too nice and controlled, that it just feels ominous and kind of unsettling. Like two complete opposites of, the spectrum. Like you got, once again, like you got like the really dirty outside world, danger, destruction, bandits, creatures that are taking your body in and integrating it upon its own body, like. And then you have the other end, which is the more clean and sophisticated stuff, and it's way too clean and nice, and they both serve the unnatural uncanniness. And I love that. Like we're trying to find the middle ground, right? We're trying to find the middle ground of, let's not be too destructive and uninhabitable, but let's also not be too controlled and clean. That middle part, that middle section between the two, I think that's where heaven is. You know, where everything is just normal, right? um, but speaking of heaven, I do love how we are exploring the outside world and we are meeting these characters, these background characters, these side characters, right? And how they live about their daily lives, how they just um, go about everything, and how they handle the situation of the outside world. And for them, the place that they are living is their home, and for them, home is heaven, right? And I'm kind of sensing a bit of a theme here. But I did mention during the reaction that this vibe that I'm getting at is kind of reminding me a bit of an anime called Kino's Journey. Now, full disclosure, I haven't actually finished watching that show. I tried to watch it like a couple of years back, the older version. I know there's like a new remake version, but I haven't seen that either. But I've only seen like a couple of episodes of like the original. But essentially, without spoiling much, it is about a character, and the story essentially is about this character going about, going to different places in the world, and then just meeting the inhabitants and seeing like, again, like their daily lives, how they live about in their world just for a couple of days, right? And then the main character moves on and goes to another different place, and a new adventure begins, right? It's bite-sized adventures, right? That's why it's called Kino's Journey. And I'm kind of getting a bit of that similar vibe with this show as well, with our two main characters here, right? Because again, like, yeah, sure, they are trying to go to heaven. That is their ultimate goal. That is their journey, but it is through that journey, right? It's not about the destination. It's about the journey, right? I know, kind of cliche, tropey, but I love it. I love stories that deals with this if done right, right? Because so far, it is done right here because of how the world is set and just how mysterious the world is. It just makes the journey to the destination all the more livelier and all the more fun and thrilling, because we don't know what lies ahead, right? We absolutely have no idea what's gonna happen in the next episode. We have no idea who we are gonna meet in the next episode. We don't know what kind of creature we're gonna get, right? Because I wasn't expecting a giant like bird to cut somebody in half and take their body and all in this episode. Like, I wasn't expecting that at all. But that's like the fun part, right? And to me, this is like the perfect setup for great world building, and I wish and I hope that they can continue with this level of quality, not just in the production, but also in the story department as well. Like, the journey of Kiruko and Maru has been just a delight to watch. Again, only 2 episodes in, but I'm just loving this. I'm just loving this. I do find that these two characters, I'm starting to get a feel of their dynamic. The first episode, yes, that is when we first meet them, right? Trying to find a grasp of like who they are, what's their like relation and all. Now in episode 2, I feel like that's a bit more fleshed out, and now seeing them in action, seeing their dynamic, seeing how they interact with one another, and how playful they are, but also how serious they are when things do get serious. Yeah, I'm getting to like these characters a lot. And both characters present a mystery, right? Because we have no idea about like their past. Like, even they have no idea about their past. It seems, except for maybe Kiruko, which while we are in the topic of her, I do want to say, very interesting that this is the angle that they are going for her character, right? Her character, or well, his character, now that I'm thinking about it, right? His character of being a transgender, right, or somebody who identifies as a male, you don't really see that a lot in anime, do you? Like you don't. Like that's pretty rare. I think the last time I've ever encountered such a character, at least more recently, would be a manga from Tatsuki Fujimoto, which is Fire Punch. I'm not gonna spoil the character, but we have a similar situation in that manga, and I do love that character in the manga, in that manga, and I am hoping to love this character as well. I think it presents a good opportunity for the writers to explore more, right? Not just about her character, not just about her character and her past, but also her identity, of finding about like who they are themselves as a person, which also adds in another layer of not mystery, but another layer of interest. In the first episode, where when he is trying to kiss his reflection, right? Because it's just, I don't know, I'm still trying to, figure out what they're trying to do with that specific scene, right? But the one thing that is currently at the back of my mind is the fact that he identifies as a male, and then he sees his reflection, and his reflection is of course that of a female, and I wonder if he becomes attracted to his own reflection, as in he is attracted to the female figure of himself, which there's like a philosophical topic about all of that, but I'm not gonna get into that because that's not really my forte. But it just, again, that's that little spice to it. It's interesting. I am interested about the story. It's definitely hooking me in. One thing now that I am worried about is these are very heavy and lofty ambitions. I feel like this story thus far, 2 episodes in, has a lot of ambition, right? There's a lot of ambition. The production is there. That means that the creators of this anime, respects the source material a lot, that they are giving it like this level of production. Kind of goes to show like how much they love the original production, the original source material, and how much they believe in it to give it this level of treatment, right? So I am trusting that this manga is great and the anime will turn out to be great, if not better, because so far I am very much impressed and I do want to see more. Like, in that regard, the show has succeeded. It has succeeded in hooking me in. I want more. I love the characters. I love what the show is trying to do with the characters. I love some of the themes of the characters and the story itself and the plot. And now all that matters is how they are going to execute these ideas in the future, right? You can have a great premise. You can have a story with fantastic ideas and creativity behind like its opening act, its opening segment, but sometimes it can falter and kind of rolls down the hill in a very bad way and ends up becoming generic or leaving some plot lines abandoned and not really explored as much as it could have had, like wasted potential in a way. So I'm hoping, praying, wishing that Heavenly Delusion will not be that at all, and it'll actually surprise me, and it'll continue this upward trajectory of just being a fantastically engrossing show, right? Because so far, story-wise, it's a lot of mystery, but we still have like no idea where it's going for. I have a couple of ideas, but there's no concrete idea to it. But so far, I'm just enjoying the ride. I'm just enjoying the journey that these two characters are going for, right? And speaking of characters, there is also the other side of the story, and that is, of course, the characters in this institution, right? In this facility, if you will. Now, this episode really does explore a lot, or at least dabbles into the themes of sexuality, right? Of course, the thing with Kiriko, and then of course this, as we are seeing right now. Again, very interesting ideas, very interesting topics. The story and theme or idea of young characters finding about themselves, exploring their sexuality, and being in a confined, self-controlled area where they have no idea what the outside world is or like the history behind it, is giving me a lot of Shinsekai Yori vibes from the New World in English. So if you have watched that show, then you probably know what I'm talking about. But essentially, without spoiling things, the show does deal a similar. It does have a similar topic in this regard. Again, young characters trying to find themselves, trying to discover who they are as a person, learning as they grow up, as they mature into adults, and again learning about their own sexuality, learning about like the outside world. There's a mystery behind all of that. This is giving me a lot of that vibes, and I am all in for it. Shinsekai Yori is one of my favorite shows, and this is giving me it's Heavenly Delusion is just ticking off all of the check marks, the check boxes of like what I want from a show. It's just a matter of, okay, you checked all of the boxes. Are you going to execute them? Right? That's the biggest worry once again. But so far, in terms of like premise and ideas, it's getting a 2 thumbs up from me. Like this is shaping up to be a show that I'm going to be loving a lot going in. And the manga is not even over yet, if I remember correctly, right? So the story's not even over yet. But like, again, I'm enjoying this. I am loving this. And I guess while I am since this just appeared on my head, I will talk about this, right? Production side of things, great and all, but I do love the their use of different aspect ratios during this scene when Kiriko and Maru are trying to fight this creature, right? Let me see if I can find that scene. All right, here it is. So, we went from 16:9 to 21:9, right? We went from a widescreen to an ultra widescreen. And the reason why I enjoyed the difference in aspect ratios is this is a good example of using aspect ratios not just because you want to make your show feel cinematic, because sometimes, let's be real here, sometimes people just slap in, like the 21:9 aspect ratio, and they're gonna say, oh, this is meant for the show to feel more cinematic. And in a way, yeah, it does feel more cinematic. If by cinematic you mean it feels more like a movie, but ultimately aspect ratios serve a purpose, and there's a reason why some cinematographers, directors, editors, anybody in the movie industry uses different aspect ratios for their different stories, right? Changing it to 21:9 means that they are expanding the scope of the screen more, right? At least in theory, but because we are dealing with a show that is originally in 16:9, changing it to 21:9 isn't necessarily creating a bigger image, it's just making a smaller image on your 16:9 screen, right? Because I'm pretty sure most of us watching this is probably still watching on a 16:9 screen. But what this does create is the illusion that these characters are more boxed in, right? Hey, look, right now, this is me on a 2x1 screen at the moment, right? This is me on a 2x1 screen. But if let's say, I'm just gonna play around with OBS, but let's say I change this, I changed the aspect ratio to, to, you know, something that is more narrow, suddenly I feel like I am being trapped, and it's only gonna get more and more suffocating once the aspect ratio becomes like really, you know, really wide, right? Same thing with changing the aspect ratio to something that is more square or box, like a 4:3, right? Changing the aspect ratios fundamentally changes how you feel about a scene. And changing the aspect ratio in this show, in this specific shot, I would say, given the context of the story and the context of the plot, it gives the illusion that these two characters are trapped, and it adds a layer of suffocation to it, right? And because of the creature is flying about, we don't know where it is, it does add a level of tension to it, and I really appreciate that, because they're using it sparingly. It's not used all the time, but it's used sparingly, the change in aspect ratios. And to me, they're done purposefully and done really well. Right? Because again, they are still searching for it, right? Still in 21/9, they're still searching for it. They have no idea where it is. They feel like they are being trapped, right? Because it's like the frame is boxing them in more and more, right? Once they do find it, we change back to 16:9 because we want to showcase like how big the creature is, right? We need that extra space for it, and that's why we changed to 16:9, because this is the reveal of the creature. And then a couple of shots later, or a couple of scenes later, after the old lady gets brutally decapitated, we got this scene where our young male character Maru steps in, about to fight the creature. And then we switch back to 21/9. And again, this is so that we can show how, first of all, it amplifies the wide shot, but second of all, it is there to showcase like the distance between Maru and the creature and how far he is actually. And because we don't really need to focus on like, you know, the sky above or the ground below, that's why we just use the 21/9, because that's just like extra space that we don't really need. We're only focusing on Maru down here, and then the creature is only taking up this amount of space on the screen. Therefore, just cut the top and the bottom. Use a 21/9 screen. Also perfect for wide shots. Again, great use of aspect ratios. I love this show. For once, there is an anime that actually uses its aspect ratios perfectly well, because the last time that I remember a show used aspect ratios, not sparingly used aspect ratios to like almost all of the time, is actually what year was it? 2017 or 2018? 2017's Darling in the Franxx, which unironically is also a show that has themes of children trying to explore their sexual identity at the start. And unironically, look, I don't enjoy that show as much, but that aspect of the show I do enjoy. They didn't really explore it as much, which is kind of a disappointment for me, but I do love that premise, and I find it hilarious that, again, that show uses a lot of aspect ratios that just feels like they have no idea how aspect ratios work. They just change it a lot every like couple of shots, and I'm like, why are you doing this? This feels obnoxious and pretentious. It doesn't feel right. This feels right, because they're using it sparingly. and I'm hoping that I will see more of this in the future. But again, more sparingly. Don't overdo it, don't overblow it. Make sure that it is, serving a purpose on the screen, for the shot, for the story as well, and I will be happy. So yeah, story-wise, I am enjoying this show. Production-wise, I am enjoying this show. Overall, I am enjoying this show. I think this has been a pretty solid journey. I am enjoying it. Definitely sucked into the world. I want to learn more, and we haven't even talked about like some of the symbols and stuff that appeared in one of the children's wall that they kept drawing and putting in. Like, wait, I think I talked about that in my discussion for episode 1. So go back to that episode discussion if you want to hear a bit about that. But yeah, overall, great episode. Love how, again, we are kind of we're kind of just exploring the world and meeting people and seeing how they handle the world and how they make their own home, their own heaven. Kind of adds to the theme of the show of like, okay, will the heaven that they are searching for, once they reach their destination, will it be worth it or not? That's the question, right? So that is it for my reaction and my discussion for Heavenly Delusion Season 1, Episode 2. Really, really good stuff. Really enjoying this episode. Really enjoying this show so far, and I cannot wait to watch more episodes. So, see you all next time for the next episode of Heavenly Delusion. Take care. Have a nice day. Peace.